Hello, welcome to an e-demo, part of our video intelligence series on setting up the Customer Present Analytic as part of Victor's point of sale feature. Before we can use the feature, a one-off setup must be carried out, and that's what we're going to take a look at doing today. And the first thing we need to do is select the Setup tab, and we should see we have a point of sale group here, and I'm going to choose Store and New. Okay, so I'm going to enter a store name, and it's useful also to use a description to help recognize it in a list later on. And the next thing I need to do then is enter a retail store ID in this field here. The retail store ID is part of the unified POS format, which Victor's point of sale feature uses, and the retail store ID will be what is contained in the unified POS report, which will uniquely identify this store. So I'm going to enter the unique identifier and choose Save and Close. Okay, so now we have a store. You should be able to see we have it in our device list here. The next thing I'm going to do is choose the Setup tab again. This time I'm going to choose Terminal and I'm going to choose New. Okay, so I'm going to give my terminal a name, and it's Cash Register 4 in my store. And I need to just choose which store it belongs to as well. Of course, I only have the one in my system at the minute. If I had more than one, we would see them in this list. I'm just going to choose the one I have. And I'm also going to enter a workstation ID for that terminal. Again, the workstation ID is part of the unified POS format, and it's what's going to uniquely identify this particular terminal in the unified POS report later on. And I'm going to move down and create an association between this terminal and the cameras on my system. The cameras I associate should have a view of the terminal, as this is the video which will be displayed when my transactions are linked to video during search later on. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the green plus, and I'm going to select cameras on the left hand side, and you can actually associate lots of different device types with the terminal. I'm just going to choose cameras. I'm going to filter my list to find the camera which overlooks this terminal, and I can select it. And I could of course add more than one device there as part of the association. And if I save and close the terminal then, and if we move back across to our device list and expand out stores and expand out our specific store, you're going to see we have the terminal there. And if I double click that terminal, you're going to see the video associated with it in investigator mode. Okay, so what I need to do now that we have our store and terminal configured is that I need to configure the terminal for use with the Customer Present Analytic. And this helps us later on filter our search results by transactions where a customer was present or where a customer wasn't present. And to do that, I'm just going to close this tab quickly, and I'm going to right click on the terminal, and I'm going to choose Configure Regions from the menu. And you can see we have all of the cameras that are associated with this terminal listed here. In our case, of course, that's just one. So I'm going to double click it and open up a view of the scene. And you can see the scene there. We can configure up to 4 regions per terminal. And it's going to be where the terminal itself is, where merchandise is, where the employee is, or in this case, we're going to configure where the customer is. So I'm going to go ahead and choose customer from the list. And I'm going to choose the green plus to add a customer region. And I can just go ahead and draw on the camera scene where the customer usually is placed in this scene. And there you can see it is highlighted on the camera view. I'm just going to go ahead and double click on the name field next to customer here and give that region a name to help define it. Then I can go ahead and close this tab, and that will save automatically. And there we go. So now if I double click my terminal in my device list, you're going to see I get the video displayed, but now also shows a blue area on the scene, which is where the customer region is defined. We've now completed the one-off setup for the Customer Present Analytic, so we can go ahead and use this feature.